Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the pricing models. But first, the question is, diba? What is a pricing model? Do you guys have an idea what we mean by when we say pricing models? Meron ba? Do you guys have an idea? Wala naman. Okay, so hindi ko na patatagalin. So basically, a pricing model, it's the way you package and present your price to the client. Okay? Guys, nga pala, ito lang baka mamaya i-google nyo, what's a pricing model? Maguguluhan kayo. Okay, maguguluhan kayo sa dami ng meaning. So basically, what I got is the simplest meaning that I could find, or at least that I know, para hindi kayo maguluhan. So again, it's the way you package or present your price to your client. So yun lang, that's how simple a pricing model is. Now, ang tanong, bakit? Why are we talking about pricing models? Okay. Now, here's the reason why. Okay. And I want you guys to listen. Okay. So the reason why we were talking about pricing models and all of that is because one of, if not the most challenging parts of building and scaling your freelancing business, okay, is figuring out the right pricing model that suits you and your clients. Okay. Kaya natin dinidiscuss to is, again, one of the most challenging parts of building and scaling an agency is figuring out kung ano yung tama bang pricing, or at least the right pricing model that suits you and your client. And understanding how to price your services properly, para sa akin lang, can often mean the difference between a profitable na freelancing business or a business that struggles to get by each and every month. Okay? Meron kasing pricing models that may allow you to scale. May pricing models na hindi naman pala bagay sa service mo. And may pricing models na akala mo okay, yun pala, nilulugi ka na. Okay? So, simulan na natin wala nang patumpik-tumpik pa. Simulan na natin. So, the first type, okay? First type of pricing is ito. Yan, hourly pricing. And kaya ko siya inuna, okay? Kaya ko siya inuna tong hourly pricing is because ito yung pinakasikat na type of pricing. Sino dito yung hourly pricing talaga sila ever since? Like $3 per hour. So, ano yung hourly pricing? Okay, so pag-usapan natin yan para sa mga hindi nakakaalam. Okay, so ano yung hourly pricing? So hourly pricing is basically you're charging client for you or your staff's time by the hour. Okay, kumbaga it's a fixed rate siya that charges you, yung client mo, or you or your staff's time by the hour. Okay? Again, kasi nasanay, guys, ito yung the meaning na binigay ko kasi nasanay kasi tayo na we are the only ones charging by the hour. Okay? But the thing is, pag may agency ka na and marami ka ng tao, pwede ka pa ring mag-charge by the hour based sa like ngayon naman, hindi naman time naman ng staff mo yung binebenta mo. Okay, yun yung gusto kong sabihin. Now, there's may different kinds of hourly rates na tinatawag. Okay, so yung una doon, parang if I remember correctly, yung isang tawag nila doon is like blended rate. Meaning, lahat ng tao sa agency mo, isa lang yung per hour nila. There's also the rate na tinatawag nila specialist rate, which means na yung rate nila per hour is higher depending on their experience. Okay? That is if you're doing the agency route. Kasi again, there are people here na may agency, there are people here na walang agency. So kung wala kang agency, that's totally fine. Kung may agency ka, you have two options. You can charge a blended rate, which means pare-pares lang ng rate lahat ng tao mo. Or you can charge a specialist rate wherein may pang maliit ka na low rate, meron din pang specialist rate. Okay, so let me guys give you an example of this. Yeah. So here's an example, like $25 per hour, straightforward, diba? Here's another, 750 for 40 hours and $25 thereafter. Okay? Now, most of you guys who are charging per hour, hindi nyo pa nakita to. Usually. Okay, what I mean is, you guys can sell, okay, hear this out, you guys can actually sell a package of that by hours. Like for example, instead of selling yourself for like, your service for like $15 per hour, pwede kang magbenta sa client ng 40 hours for $750. Pwede mong gawin yun. Okay? Now, if that happens, halimbawa, nagamit niya 30 lang. Ganun. It doesn't really matter. Bayad ka pa rin ng $750 kasi ang binila niya sa'yo yung per hour. Clear ba, guys? Is this making sense for you? Yeah. Can you guys let me know sa chat? Like, kasi iba usually, di ba, usually binibenta nyo per hour, like halimbawa, yun nga, like $3 per hour, $5 per hour, $10 per hour. But most people don't know is that you can also bill by the, a bundle of hours. So 40 hours for $750. Tapos anything na sosobra doon, okay? Anything na sosobra doon, $25 thereafter. So, mas makakamura siya pag binili niya yung 40 and kumbaga ito yun eh. Like 'di ba usually kapag may proposal kayo binibigyan niyo ng options, 'di ba? Like halimbawa, $40 for $750. Tapos option 2, 60 hours for like $1,200. Ganun. 'Di ba? So, yun lang yun. Kumbaga sabi nga na dito prepaid. Okay? Prepaid siya. So, babayaran nila yung 40 hours, kaya magamit nila yun o hindi, yun pa rin yung babayaran nila sa inyo. Okay? Clear ba so far? Yung example na yun? Kasi usually, alam lang natin is per hour. We don't really sell bundles of hours. Okay? Now, ito naman example. Ito yung sasabi ko na specialist rate. Okay? Yung specialist rate is $25 per hour yung regular na VA mo pag hinire, may agency ka. So, $25 per hour yung regular VA mo. Pag OBM naman, yung hinahanap nilang role na i-hire nila, it's $40 per hour. So, ito naman yung specialist rate. Okay? Again, yung OBM na nilagay ko dyan is just an example. You don't have to, huwag mo siyang masyadong dibdibin. This is just an example. So, kung VA yung i-hire nila, bibigay mo sila ng rate na $25 per hour and yung OBM, bibigay mo sila ng $40 per hour na rate. Okay. Questions so far, guys. Let me know in the chat kung meron kayong tanong. Like, I'm pretty sure most of you guys alam na ninyo to. Sabi ni Robbie, yung per hour, automatic po ba yun na may time tracker? Well, yes, definitely there's time tracker kasi kailangan ma-prove ng client that you're doing the hours that you promised. Okay? Kailangan may time tracker. Now, ito yung pros niya. Number one, it's simple for clients to understand. Okay? It's simple for clients to understand kasi alam nila yung per hour lahat na karamihan ng may business malamang dumaan din sa pagiging empleyado so alam nila yan. Okay? Another thing is that there's little to no scope creep. Alam niyo ba yung scope creep? You guys know that? Yung scope creep na tinatawag ko is more like lumalampas na, like halimbawa, sinabi lang niya sa'yo, papagawa lang ako ng 5 emails. Ganun. Tapos, ang ending, instead of 5 emails lang, nagpasingit pa siya sa'yo. Nagpasingit pa. So, ang ginawa niya, nag-request pa siya ng 2 pang emails. That's scope creep. Okay, so scope creep is when you do the work that's outside of the agreed upon na gagawin mo. Okay? And this is something that you don't want to do. Okay? Kasi it creates more work. Kung papayag ka ng papayag, wag na. Okay? Kailangan may bayad. Kapag lumabas sa pinag-agrihan mo na work, that's called scope creep. Okay? Sabi ni Trixie, what services are best to charge on an hourly basis? Sige, darating tayo dyan, Trixie. Okay, sagutin ko yan. Now, another thing that's a pro to this, it's tracking hours, then outcome or deliverables is actually simpler to manage. I'm not sure kung sino dito yung mga may agency na, but it's hard, okay? It's hard to manage people based, di ba? Usually kahit per hour yan, it's hard to manage people, okay? But it's even harder to manage people if you're managing them by the outcome. Kasi kailangan mo silang piliting matapos, kailangan pilitin na mabilis siyang magawa, yung mga bagay-bagay, yung outcome and deliverable. Kapag per hour, yung mga tao mo, mas manageable. Kasi wala namang kayong hinahabol na oras. Kumbaga, binabayaran kayo per the hour that you work. Kumbaga walang hinahanap na alam mo yun, after 40 hours kailangan meron ng nagawang ebook, wala namang gano'n. Again, you're being paid by the hour, naka-time tracker kayo and all that. Okay? Sabi ni Sir D, anong gamit niyo na time tracker? Sir D, bro, hindi ko alam kasi never pa ako nakagamit ng time tracker. Okay, I don't do by the hour. So, anyone here, yan, time doctor, alam ko, okay yan. So, anyone here na may suggestion kay Sir D, let him know. Okay? So, yan yung pros niya. Now, yung cons, eto na. So, for some services, it disincentivizes efficiency. Kasi the longer the work takes, the more you get paid. So, yung ibang client, pinagdududahan ka kung pinapahaba po ba yung trabaho mo. Okay? So, yun. Like, kumbaga, since wala ka namang hinahabol na outcome, wala kang hinahabol na deliverable, hindi na, alam mo yun, wala kang tao na gustong maging efficient. Yun. Unless of course, depende sa case. Like for example, call center yung sa'yo, tapos binibilang yung average handling time nila and all that. Yun. Kapag may contact center ka, may-ari ka nun, incentivize sila to be efficient kasi mayroong mga hinahabol na metrics. Okay? Now next, scaling may be dependent on hiring more people. So ito yung actually yung hindi naman sa ayoko, but more like naging problema ko about this is because in order for me to earn more money, I have to hire more people. You know what I mean? In order for me to earn money, I have to hire more people. Ang problema, ayoko na mag-hire ng sobrang dami. Diba? So yun yung naging problema ko. Like, gusto ko siya kasi mas madali. Kasi hindi naman ako gagawa, mga tao ko naman. But at the same time, in order for me to scale my revenue, kailangan ko din mag-hire ng mas maraming tao. Di ba? Kasi per hour yung binabayaran sa akin eh. Okay? So yun. Now, next is clients can become micromanagers kasi nga per hour kayo, sabi ko kanina, there's a danger wherein pagdududahan kayo ng client mo. So if you're not producing results, baka maging micromanager yung magiging client mo. Okay? Yun. Now, next is it's hard to estimate completion time if you're new. Okay? So ito yung isa sa mga hindi nyo pa nakikita kasi minsan, halimbawa, sinabi mo, in order to do this, we would need 40 hours. But the thing is, kung bago ka lang, you can't really promise yung number of hours kasi nga, hindi mo pa naman alam eh. It's your first time doing it. Hindi mo alam kung ilang hours talaga yung ginugugol to do a specific task. Okay? So yan yung yung pros and cons of doing the hourly thing. Okay? Clear ba so far? Okay, now, anong service ba? Anong service ba yung maganda para dito? Well, para sa akin, in my opinion, okay, it's good for services requiring a certain number of hours to complete. Like for example, customer service. This is great. Kasi it requires a certain number of hours to complete. You're not being paid by deliverable, wala namang outcome, di ba? Wala namang outcome yung customer service. It just requires you a certain number of hours to fulfill. So gusto ko siya doon. Another thing, consulting. Sino dito yung mga nagko-consulting? Yung mga nagko-consulting for clients, this is a perfect, di ba? A perfect tawag dito, pricing option for you. Okay? Now, advice lang guys advice lang. Okay? And I want you guys to listen to this. If you're going to do the hourly model, okay? You need to take note that there are hours that you need to put in and considered as billable. I've learned this sa call center kasi there was a time nagmi-meeting kami, I didn't know na billable hours pala siya. Okay? So, admin work, that's billable hours. Yung business development, that's billable hours. Okay? So you need to take that into consideration kasi either ipaalam mo sa client na nag-meeting kayo and bibibil niyo yung client or i-add mo siya as extra work. So kailangan mo maglagay ng margin sa per hour. But instead na $25 lang, gagawin mo siyang 28 or 27. Okay? Clear ba? Clear ba so far? And so that's the first one.